Welcome back to another episode of Carson's Aquatics. Today is another very exciting day down here in the fish room, and that's because we are going to be moving my African clawed frog Franky into this 40-gallon tank with his parents. This right here is Franky, the little guy I'm talking about, and then right over here is my 40-gallon frog tank, home to my 3 adult African clawed frogs. There's one of the females right there, that's Betty. Then the other female back there, her name's Bertha. And then you can see Freddy, the male, poking his head out of the cave right there. Freddy and one of the 2 females are indeed the parents of Franky, and they have not seen each other since Franky was literally an egg. It was September of 2020, so about a year and a half ago, whenever these frogs bred successfully and had Franky. And I did remove the eggs from the 40-gallon tank and put them in their own separate little tank. So Franky has literally not seen his parents since he was an egg, and I am very interested to see like if there's any kind of reaction, like if the frogs somehow remember it's their son. I highly doubt there will be any kind of reaction because, you know, frogs are kind of dumb, but hey, you never know. Franky has been in his own 10-gallon tank for over a year now, and that's just because I've been growing him out, getting him big enough to the point where he can go in the 40-gallon with the adults, and I believe he is now big enough to the point where he just won't fit in their mouths. And that's pretty much what we're going for, because these frogs aren't exactly aggressive, but they will eat anything that can fit in their mouths that like comes in front of their face, and I know for a fact that they can't fit Franky in their mouth, so we should be good. But of course, whenever we put Franky in this tank, we will watch them for quite a while to make sure everything's good. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun video. After we reunite the frogs, we're also gonna do some updates. I definitely want to show you guys the 125 and the 75, because in my last video I moved like a bunch of my cichlids to new tanks, and I just want to show you guys how they're doing. And after that, we'll probably do some feedings, other updates, random stuff. But yeah, the first thing I want to do is put Franky in that tank. So we are going to go ahead and get some of his tank water into this pitcher. Oh yeah, and you guys may notice there is an angelfish in this tank. He used to be in the 55-gallon with the cichlids, and one morning I came down here and saw that he and the other angelfish were like completely beat up. So I took them both out. This one was more beat up, so I held on to him just so he could heal up, and then I took the other one over to Tori's tank. And now that this guy's pretty healed up, we are also going to be taking him over to Tori's tank, and you guys will probably see that in like my next video or the one after that. Yeah, we've got a little bit of water in this pitcher, so we're gonna go ahead and scoop Franky out of here. All right, come here, Franky. Got him. So there's Franky right there, just chilling in the pitcher. And now we are going to acclimate him to his new tank, and to do that, every couple minutes I'm gonna get a scoop of new tank water and dump that into his pitcher. We'll do that like every 5 minutes or so, and then here in about 15-20 minutes he'll be ready to go into this tank. And with that being said, I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, it has been about 15 minutes. Franky is acclimated and ready to go into his new tank. And also, while I was just acclimating him, I did go ahead and feed these frogs, just so they're like not hungry and don't try to eat Franky or anything. But we are good to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and just grab Franky with my hand here and release him on into the tank. Oh man, he's going down to the bottom. Okay, he does look really tiny next to all these adults. It's kind of making me nervous. Oh, looks like he's coming up to Freddy. Franky, look, that's your dad right there. Franky does look super pale. He's obviously super stressed out right now, but here in an hour or two, his colors will darken up quite a bit. But so far, so good. This is how it usually is. The frogs just mind their own business, and then when they see the pellets floating down, then they'll start going into feeding mode. And yeah, Franky's just chilling. I definitely want to see some kind of interaction before I start doing other stuff in here. I just want to make sure he's completely safe. Oh, looks like Franky's coming up for his first breath in the new tank. All right, and there he goes. Coming right over to Betty. That could be his mom right there. I wish I knew which female was his mom. But yeah, if she wanted to right there, she definitely could have bit at Franky's leg, but she did not, so that's a good sign. It almost looks like Franky's looking for something to eat right now. I think he is. We might have to drop in a worm for him. Oh, Franky is right next to Bertha. And oh, okay. That was good though. If there was a time to try and eat Franky, it would have been right there. And she didn't. So that is a very good sign. Oh, and I should mention, I have seen people keep these larger African clawed frogs with the smaller ones. Like, I'm talking even smaller than Franky. And it works out for them. So I'm assuming that like African clawed frogs might just not be cannibals, which is obviously good. But yeah, I've seen many other people do this and have it work out. And it seems to be working out fine for us so far. So now that Franky is in the 40-gallon frog tank, I am going to keep a close eye on him for a while. But while I'm doing that, we are going to talk about a couple things down here in the fish room. First of all, an update on the 75-gallon cichlid tank. In my last video, we moved my blood parrot, my firemouth, and my green terror out of that 125-gallon tank and into this 75-gallon. And as expected, these 3 cichlids are doing great together here in this 75. They're all looking great, they're eating great, and they get along great in this tank. Everything is literally going perfect in here. And then over here in the 125-gallon tank, we put my 2 biggest, meanest fish together in one tank, and they are also just doing amazing amazing together in this tank, which is just so awesome because Ike was in the 75-gallon tank alone for a really long time, and he just looked so like sad and depressed in that tank all alone. So I'm so happy he finally has a big tank with a new friend and also with some structure he can hang out around. Ike is quite literally living his best life. I don't think he's ever been this happy. Like every time I walk in this room, he's up doing something, swimming around, and then when he sees me, he comes up looking for food. Look at that. He's always just so hyped up. And then you can see Bruce also sees me get close to the tank, and we will feed these guys here in a little bit. But yeah, 125 and 75 are just doing absolutely amazing. Let's do another little check-in on Franky down here. Still just minding his own business. And yeah, he definitely is starting to darken up a little bit. He was super pale before, so it looks like he's getting a bit more comfortable in here. A couple other things, like I said, we are going to be taking that angelfish out of that little 10-gallon tank and moving him over to my girlfriend Tori's 37-gallon aquarium. That is where my other angelfish is right now. So here in a couple days, they will be together once again. And once he's out of this tank, we can finally start setting up the 10-gallon bait tank right here under the 125. I've been wanting to set up that tank for a long time now. We are going to breed guppies in there, and we're also going to use that tank as like a plant grow out tank. I'm going to put a bunch of live plants in there, first of all, for like the baby guppies to hide in, but then those plants will also grow, from which we can put them in my other tanks. And then also for that 10-gallon bait tank, I'm either going to get a white crawfish or a blue crawfish, and he'll be like the king of the tank. Like if any of the guppies randomly die, then the crawfish will be there to like eat them and clean them up, and he'll have his own little cave that he stays in all the time. It's going to be so cool. So yeah, that is going to be sick, and that's coming really soon. Now that we're getting everyone out of that tank, we'll be able to get that one rolling, because I do want to use that filter and heater in our new bait tank. And yeah, once we get all that handled, I'll obviously take this tank away, and that'll leave empty space for a new tank here, which I'm thinking I want to do my first ever saltwater tank. I literally bought a 13.5-gallon like all-in-one saltwater starter kit in March of 2019. Almost 3 years ago, this saltwater tank has been sitting in my closet, and I have never gotten around to setting it up, but I think here pretty soon we're finally going to have the room. So yeah, definitely excited for that. But yeah, other than that, nothing really new going on. We got Pluto over here just vibing in his 25, then the rest of the American cichlids over here in the 55. These guys are growing too, by the way. I mean, the redhead is definitely the biggest in this tank, and then I'm definitely noticing growth in Ozzy as well, and he's looking good. I mean, look at this guy. His colors are just looking better than ever, as well as the electric blue. His colors are looking great, and I think he is also growing. These guys are doing great in this tank, and I think I do want to get one more cichlid for this tank. And I do know what fish I'm getting, but I do want to leave that as a surprise for you guys, but that also will be coming very soon. So yeah, one last little checkup on Franky for now, and oh yeah, his colors have definitely darkened up a lot. He's just about looking completely normal in here now. But I do want to see if he'll eat real quick, so I'm going to go in there with a worm and just kind of put it. Okay, Franky, come here. It's a worm. You love worms. Look at that. Hey, there we go, Franky. Look at that, Freddy watching him eat his first meal in the new tank. Oh, but yeah, there we go. We got Franky to eat like 20 minutes after going into a new tank. That is definitely a win. And I did only give Franky half of that worm, so let me show you what I do with the other half. Just drop it on in the 125 and see who gets it. Bruce? It's usually Ike. Oh, okay, Bruce. He's literally never gotten the worm before, but there we go. Just for good measure, we better drop in some pellets. What do you say? Let's just sprinkle a few in there. Hello? There we go. Ooh. Oh my gosh, dude, he's so fast. Oh my. Did you hear that smack? Oh no. Jeez, dude. He just splashed out of the tank. Oh, okay, Ike. That one was personal. He looks like a little torpedo swimming around. Look at him. And he's shaped like one too. I'm telling you, it will never get old watching this dude eat. So that is pretty much gonna wrap up tonight. I do want to do one more little update in the morning for you guys on the frog tank, just to make sure everything's going fine. I am gonna sit down here for the next 30 to 45 minutes just to watch them and make sure no one gets eaten. So yeah, with that being said, I will see you in the morning. Alrighty guys, so it is the next morning, and let's just go right ahead and check in on Franky. He is right down there, as you can see, looking good. Again, his colors are looking much better now, and from what I've seen, he's been getting along with the bigger frogs just fine. I've seen Franky get close to the bigger frogs many times, and they didn't bite at him or anything, which is just awesome. So from how this is going so far, Franky should be able to stay with the rest of the frogs, which is just awesome. And again, that means we can start moving some other stuff around down here in the fish room, and it's just so awesome to finally see the plans I've had for so long start unfolding. I've got so many good videos coming up for you guys, so make sure you stay tuned. But that is pretty much going to wrap this one up, and today's comment of the day goes out too. And if you want your comment to be the comment of the day in the next video, all you got to do is drop a comment down below, and that could happen. And if you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Okay guys, all my power just went out. Oh my